I'm not going to go too deep into it because I almost say he make a full video on this film, but... Hi, I'm Daniel, and let's finally do that about 8 months later. Also, what's up with that videos, everything, why does it have so many views? Anyway, A Bug's Life is Pixar's most underrated film. Finding Dory and Monster University are also underrated, but the complaints are more understandable, while A Bug's Life is treated as a weaker Pixar film, and I really disagree. I originally put it in my top 5 best Pixar films, but not anymore because Soul's amazing. And I will explain why I think this film is a masterpiece. Also spoilers. This film's animation is great for its time compared to the two CGI films before and some of the other early ones like Ice Age, Monsters Inc., Toy Story 2, The Incredibles and Shrek. It still holds up as good enough 22 years later. The characters look kind of toy-like with its colours and shapes, but I don't mind. Better than the ugly colour scheme and design of ants. A Bug's Life has a lot of great comedy. It has both dialogue humour and slapstick humour for all audiences. It is also helped by the great voice acting. The characters are also superb. Fiek is a great protagonist, mainly for reasons I'll discuss later. Also, knocking food balls in his throat, look at that structure. Who thought that was a good idea? Dot is a great example of the kid character done well. Atta's character arc of not feeling ready to leave is great at contrasting to Fiek. The circus bugs are funny as a unit, but individually, some are good and some, who is this? Hopper is one of the best Pixar villains even though there isn't much competition for how threatening he is. They made it clear how evil he is by him not even liking that food. He just cares about causing fear and being ahead of them as a species. I hope there is no theory saying Hopper is right. Wait, no one will make theories for this film anyway. The piece of score titled A Bug's Life Suit is repeated a couple of times in the film and it fits all of these scenes greatly as a motif. Now I am done talking about all the other things that make this film exceptional. Now I'm going to discuss the main theme of hope. This film uses the Yaya reveal trope, which is when someone is keeping the truth from other characters and eventually it gets revealed. It is used in loads of films, whether it's central in the story or just a secondary element to the story, and it is often very annoying. It's hard to watch the constant build-up knowing something is gonna go wrong. It's partly intentional, but it is not a good trope because I'm not worried because I care about the character, I'm just worried because of this situation's building up on it too much. A Bug's Life doesn't do it completely well, but it is way better than others because it doesn't overly hold on the build-up more than it needs to, and no one is in the wrong. Fiek and the circus bugs weren't purposely lying at first. Fiek actually thought they were warrior bugs, and the circus bugs thought they were performing a show. They do find out and continue to lie about it, but I don't blame them, because this was the one sign of hope which these ants need. Part of Fiek's lying is his reputation, but the bigger reason is he genuinely cares for them, and he manages to come up with a plan that avoids fighting. But then PT3 comes and reveals the lie. It is also a very common trope of having characters fall out at the start of the third act in films, and that trope is annoying for how often it happens. Most of the time it kinda works in a context, but still, why do 90% of all animated films need to do this? A Bug's Life actually does it well because the entire point is that the piano is the bird and them being warriors shouldn't matter. But you can understand why they're angry and think Fiek was being selfish, because they represent a symbol of hope. Fiek is just some random ant. What could he do? What could any individual do? This mentality even makes Fiek doubt himself in the piano, but he is talked out of it by Dot. Normally, the plan would work, but two things. One, Pathetic Fire is already in motion and it starts raining. And to talk about something unrelated briefly, this film does a good job of using size to its advantage with how big these raindrops look. And two, PT3 once again ruins everything by setting it on fire. The bird piano may not have worked, but ants outnumber grasshoppers, and the ants end up coming together and winning. This movie has a lot of mini messages. There's a message about fixing intelligent ideas. Even though the bird didn't work, that could have been because of last minute planning. There is also a message about thinking outside the box with ideas. But I think the main message is believe in yourself without a symbol needed. The warrior bugs were just a symbol for what was already the plan, and if everyone had faith in it, maybe it could have worked better. In conclusion, A Bug's Life is a masterpiece of a film and one of Pixar's best. I plan to make more videos like this with actual editing and discussions of underrated and underappreciated films in a more detailed and spoilerific way. This video was also really long for my standards because this script is 11 pages long. This has been a video I have been wanting to make for a long time, which is why I mentioned it in my ranking Pixar films video. I wanted to wait until I was better at writing scripts and individual reviews. The end.